So we'll at least get live on that part.
We'll live.
So I did the
And then I'll go and share it.
three mailings for the general, and then we have.
You want me to share it too or not?
If you want to share it, you can share it.
Debate.
I can have direct access to it.
Yeah. And that's been, that one might vote.
Okay. You got it?
But I think, we have had good turnout.
Yeah.
Nice.
Joining you, Sean, Board of Selectmen.
It's in pre-one on stage.
Oh, we're live right now.
Yep, now.
Position the camera over there.
Just a second for the last little bit of adjustment to be able to do it. All right.
Get everybody in.
Otherwise, watch says one time and the clock. Phone says another. You got it? Just rearranging the organizational cluster.
Yeah.
All right, I will call to order this meeting of the Board of Selectmen for Thursday, September 5th,
Oh, thanks.
2024. It is 5 p.m. And we will go ahead and start with board member comments.
We may have some planned ones.
We have some that are kind of unplanned. So, go ahead and ask Curtis if he has anything first.
We've got roller skating with the rec tomorrow, Friday night, starting at 6 at the Troy School. That started back up, so the school started back up. And that'll continue throughout the school year. It'll always be the first Friday of every month. Saturday is the community breakfast from 7 to 10. Hopefully we get a lot of people showing up, because if we don't get enough people to keep making this happen, we're not gonna continue to do it. We're gonna end up costing us money. So, other than that, yesterday during the planning board meeting, it's recommended that we get a certificate of completion for like big jobs, like for when a commercial building or anything comes in that's commercial. It's not really going to get a certificate of occupancy. We should get something like a certificate of completion, so we can work on that. And it was brought up about the flow chart for building permits. Where is it supposed to go, and so we're going to be working on that as well, in conjunction with the planning board. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else. Anything for you, Dick?
Yes, I have, see if Jerry put it someplace else on the agenda.
What Curtis just mentioned?
No. What I wanted to mention was the candidate form. I was thinking that we should use and I can do it up as a PDF for the Troytown News. But I thought what we should do is use the Selectmen's corner to notice the public of that more like an ad format with the details of how it's going to be run. I don't know what else you've got to go in there for the October edition. And
Everything else really bad.
okay.
It's been getting harder to find stuff to actually put in that people
Well,
don't already.
Either you haven't used before,
Yeah.
And then I was also thinking we should put it in the Petroleum newsletter as well. Because we share almost everybody on the ballot shares these two towns. So I can format it and send it over to you to review, and then if we're agreeable, we can do that. And then I did want to address the issue of having a methodology on the building permits. I still think that all building permit applications should start in the selectmen's office. And I think and Kyle said last night, you know, that he thinks we should meet together, but what I was thinking that we would do is I can do a draft of a policy and procedure for handling permits, because you have this sort of, you know, Mr. Smith wants to build a 2-car garage, fine. That's within the selectmen's purview, doesn't require a site plan, and we should be able to handle that, unless for some reason it requires a variance. Then there's people make applications for things that don't need building permits, and we send them away with a nice little note saying, thank you very much, but you don't need a permit for whatever that particular thing was. That happens half the time. But I think that each application for a permit should be assigned a number when it comes in that would ultimately become a building permit number if it was issued. And a copy of that application should go in the property file, because we're responsible for maintaining property records. And that way, if somebody questions Mr. and Mrs. Smith 6 years from now, you built a gazebo, why didn't you get a permit for it? And they can go and say, well, I applied for a permit, but the town said I don't need one, and you can check the property file. We would have a record of it. Right now, we don't really keep records of that, so it would be very organized. And that's why I think it needs to begin with the selectman's office, even if it's something that immediately is going to go, like a solar farm, is immediately going to go to the planning board. It should start here. It basically get checked in, be assigned a number, or the record of that go in the relevant property file, and then sent off to the planning board. So I'm happy to write that up for everybody's review if you want to do that. If you guys don't want to do that, then I'll find something else to do. Otherwise, I don't like.
Sounds good to me.
I think that's what we need.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna help benefit any future boards.
Well, and that's my concern, and it actually, and property owners, because a lot of times you run into these things where you go, well, where did that come from? Or where did that go? I can tell you that I've sold more than one house in this town where the property card says it's got a garage and it doesn't. Where'd it go? I don't know. The former owner took it down. Cool. So, good news is you're not going to be taxed on it anymore. Maybe. So, there's that. And then the only other thing is, Jeremy just handed me a right to know request for the TRG, for the bank statements, which I guess that's the right format to hand it to Jeremy. That's a little muddy too. I don't mind, as far as I'm concerned, they are public records. How do we want to handle this? Do we want the town to make copies and send them over? Do we want me to take copies, to take them to Staples and make copies? And is there a statutory limit on how much you can charge per page?
There is, I think it's the same price that we charge for property cards and everything else, so it'd be whatever's on the copy.
It's whatever our rate is right now.
Yeah, except these are town records, strictly speaking.
Well, and that's where I don't think that being as they're not town records, he
Yeah.
technically has no rights to them under 91A.
Well, I wonder
And if we
about
want to
that.
share it, we can charge whatever we want. So you take the Staples and whatever they charge you, you can charge back to them.
Yeah. All right. Well,
That's what it
so
would come down to, I would think.
maybe we ought to run this by Howick. The town should run it by Howick, not TRG. Say, you got this request for TRG. What do you want to do?
That would be probably a good idea, just to figure out.
Yeah.
Because in all cases, actually, we should be running almost every single one of these by
So by Howick.
Hopping. If it's something that involves a legal
Yeah.
aspect, we should be running by
Right.
a legal, someone who's studies the law.
All right. So then can we? a lot of people that study the law, it's the ones that have a license to practice.
Very true.
Yeah,
I will make a
a lot of
motion.
guys in jail that study the law.
I've heard, they get it for free sometimes. I will make a motion that we have Jeremy send this to Havoc for his advisement from the town's aspect.
Second.
All right. Any further discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
So Jeremy, you get your marching order on that one. Please and thank you.
We approve Billy Covino to be on the, be tortured on the water and sewer board.
I'll second it.
All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Jeremy, I'll give you later the updated one, and then I'll sign it off, and then we'll go on that one. All right, Dave, floor is yours. So you get out of it during my time, so come on up.
All right, so, I'm submitting this event permit. What we want to do is next Thursday, candlelight vigil for Brittany and Benson, the two people that were taken from us. Working with Shane Lampinen, who is the property owner of that duplex. He has, and I've spoken to Brittany's brother in Utah, and he's real happy about that we want to do this. We're going to have a couple of pastors there. We'll have Pastor Stanley Clark from town, Shane, pastor from, I believe it was Ashburnham, or Ashby, I'm not sure which. And they'll be there doing some prayers and there'll be some songs and things like that to celebrate their life that will be consumed.
I move that we approve the permit submitted by Dave.
I'll second it.
All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And we're gonna have this, that they're gonna make up a flag that says, a night of light, and the heart is where Troy is. And so, we'll have that, and, we'll have people that go sign that flag and send it to the relatives in Utah.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
One other thing, I got an email from, I think it was the planning board, wanting a statement from the police and the fire on
Yes.
so, I mean, what,
It's actually in the ordinance that they have to get your input, that there's an incident out there, any of your concerns, and based on your feedback.
Have you read this? This is, use that as a demo.
oh, okay, thank you. All right, very good, thank you, have a good night.
Bye.
Go with it.
Okay, you want one? Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Afterwards. Now let's jump on the public comment. Hello.
Hello.
All right. Let's see. Do we put you on?
So you're on the agenda under new business, that worked right after public comments, but there's no public here.
That was going to be basically it. So yeah. Hello. Welcome.
Thank you. Do you want me to sit here and talk to you? Is that good?
Stand up.
You can stand, sit.
Well,
Public can see you, so either
Okay,
way.
I'll sit then if that's okay.
Sure.
So I'm Denise Ricciardi. I'm the state senator for District 9, which is 13 towns. And I've been your state senator for the last 4 years. I wanted to come today as a touch point so that you always know that I'm a resource for you. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I've accomplished, and then I'm going to go into this newsletter that I prepared for you specifically for Troy, so you can see actual numbers and figures of money that's coming to you. So I have a very tenacious personality, and when I see that something isn't right and needs to be fixed, that's what I do. I go and I get it fixed. So if you have a problem, bring it to me. So most of you know, but for those listening in the community, I was elected in my first term and realized that the state had broken a promise for 2 decades. They were supposed to give the town of Troy and the other communities in New Hampshire 40% of the meals and rooms sharing when people eat in a restaurant or they go to a hotel, and that was to come to you for property tax relief. And when I realized they hadn't been doing it for 2 decades, I said, I don't like that. I don't know about you, but I don't like broken promises. So I made it my mission to fix this, and basically people laughed at me. Oh no, you can't fix that. So I always say the worst thing you can do is tell me I can't do something, because I'm going to do it. So I was able to secure 30%, but the best part was I amended that bill so the state of New Hampshire is no longer allowed to put that money in the general fund. It's in a dedicated fund, so you're guaranteed that money. And that money has been increasing ever since my first term when I did the bill. And the new projections will come out in October, so I have a little bit of an estimation. And they are actually 3.2% higher than projected. So in the graph I provided for you, it's about an 85% increase, an increase of almost $93,000 from fiscal year 2022. So the projection is a little over it's $201,535, and I do think it may end up being more that will be coming to the town of Troy. That would not have come if I had not put that bill forward. I also wanted to mention a big legislative heavy lift I did this term is many of the constituents in the community of Troy, I'm sure, have experienced when they go to their doctor and they need a test or maybe an MRI, and the doctor has to tell them, well, we have to wait. The insurance carrier has to give you prior authorization. And meanwhile, your health could be declining. And you pay a lot of money for your health care, and I think if you and your doctor feel you need a test, you should have it. So I decided I'd fix that, and again, I got a little bit of a chuckle that you can't do that. You'll have a bullseye on your back with the insurance carriers, and I said, that's fine. This is not good for the people of New Hampshire, and it needs to be fixed. So I called a meeting at the State House with all the insurance carriers and the medical community, and everyone had a seat at the table, and we were able to come to a full agreement, and that is Senate Bill 561, and the governor signed it into law. So starting January 2025, the insurance carriers have 1 week to respond to that doctor, or it's an automatic approval. So this is really going to help the people of Troy. Something I also wanted to touch on is I've worked a lot with water issues, which is so important, not only clean water, but for infrastructure. So I sponsored and championed to fund clean water that would work to expand, repair, and maintain municipal water infrastructure by creating a state-funded partnership program. It not only is going to reduce costs for the municipalities and your taxpayers here in Troy, but now we will be able to have projects that can move forward for housing and economic development, but allowing our local government to take advantage and maximize for these critical, expensive projects. So in the budget, I was able to secure $15.9 million that I championed for solely for water projects. And this is going to help pay an annual cost of almost $1 billion worth of infrastructure. So between this program and the available federal dollars, the local taxpayers will not have to foot the complete total bill for expanding and improving clean water, drinking water, and wastewater projects. So that was another good accomplishment for municipalities and towns.
It's a big issue here, so that's important for us.
Very much issue here.
So, there was a lot of things, but I wanted to touch on the highlights. I also just wanted to touch on other important things that are coming to Troy. So if you look, I supported, it was Senate Bill 270, and it provided an additional 20 million one-time funds for roads and bridges. And in fiscal year 24 for Troy, the highway block grant is $109,000. And on the highway block grant one-time payment for Troy is $15,436. You have a one-time bridge aid payment of $10,782. So these are really important funding for the town of Troy.
Jeremy, didn't we get that $15,000 check like last month?
Yeah, we got one up on Honda.
Yeah, wasn't that?
Well-
We got one of those checks.
Okay, so I prepare these, you know, and that I love this beautiful town of Troy, and it's truly an honor to be here and to serve your community.
Well, I want to thank you for your help with helping the select board with the DOT last week. I think it was very helpful to have you contact them for us. They were very responsive. They met with the three of us down at the highway where the issue is, and that's not a resolved issue, but it's certainly.
Yes, the DOT, DES, and the other departments in Concord have a little saying about me. They go, "You really care about your constituents."
Yeah.
I tell them that's my #1 priority. That's who I work for. I don't work for the state. So you need to put a little bit of effort on you too, and you stay in touch with me so that we get it resolved and that the ball doesn't get dropped. They know my position on it. I think you saw my reply in the
Yes,
email.
I did.
I said I'm coming up.
That was helpful, Denise. Thank you.
You're very, very, very welcome. It means I'm doing my job.
So, what else have we got?
Got no questions or anything.
Now, are you going to be coming to our candidate forum in October?
I am, and I've already RSVP'd today.
Ah, okay, good. Did you know that?
They're starting to come in now.
Oh,
3 so far?
okay. Who are the other two?
Laughlin and Jack Evans.
Okay.
Man, you haven't heard from Dick Daxon yet?
No, I need to send him a letter. I think he's coming. His opponent is, so we better show up.
So I got my letter in the mail yesterday, and I responded today. It's a great opportunity.
You can put me down as attendant.
Reward.
Well, so, is there anything that we could do more as a town that when you travel throughout your district, all 13 towns from Hinsdale to Bedford, isn't Bedford?
I live in Bedford.
Yeah. I'm not sure how they determined that was a homogeneous group, but okay. So, do you see anything that Troy could do that you could help us with that you find that is common in other towns, but we're kind of the odd man out on?
Each town is a little bit unique in its own way. I rely on people to tell me what you need. I think you got touch points from me, you know, letting you know that I'm the chair of Senate Transportation, so that if you needed, I was doing the 10-year plan, and I said, what do you need? Let me get that in the 10-year plan. So I do try to send regular emails so that you can, you know, let me know what you need. If you need assistance in a grant, a letter of recommendation, or anything like that, all you have to do is reach out. And I do travel all through.
Yeah.
I mean, I really am very present in I might live in Bedford, but I'm very present in all my towns and stay in contact with everyone.
Certainly would have to. Probably just like California, the state somebody's coming down.
Shit, right. That's a good one.
How much do they get paid there?
A lot.
A
Yeah,
lot.
they get like 120 a year or something like that.
Well, I was gonna say that's why they pay the big bucks, but that's not even funny.
Oh, my husband jokes, he says to me, how much did your job cost me this month?
The best part is the tax years, tavern, but
Yeah, well,
They do.
They do.
You get $74.98.
Oh, it's even less than it used to be, yeah.
And my husband told me 2 weeks ago he had to put new tires on my car because I drive this total distance. And I used to drive very, very little, but that's okay. I really do care. I actually read all my own emails myself, and I respond personally to my constituents, and everyone has my cell phone.
Can't think of anything else right now. Assistance, you know.
I might recommend the water and sewer department reach out to you.
Please have them reach out.
Because they will definitely be needing more assistance with all of that.
Yeah, they've got quite the kerfuffle going on there.
Well, I'll help them any way I can.
Definitely, I'll have them reach out to you.
Do you mind if I walk out with Senator McCarty?
Of course.
I'll be right back.
Thank you for having me this evening. It was
Thank
really
you.
nice to see all of you.
Thank you,
Nice
Mr.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, sir.
Alright, let's see.
It is nice to have our representatives come out
It's-
on a regular basis and contact us on a regular basis, so that's always a good thing. And it's not just Denise Attorney, it's also Jen Rhodes.
And yet, then there's other executive council members that are fighting for us, and it was us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if he had reached out to you, we wouldn't have heard back from you if you had asked.
Right,
Not that it's solving everyone's problems, but.
Well, it helps. It helps get people in.
We'll take a quick break real quick. I'm gonna talk to you real quick. Get this other one back. So we, before the end of their stuff.
Is that still on? Did you know that our executive council, once you guys, there's some housing? But the bring to adoption now, they always. No matter who it is. I don't know if it's yours.
And a question, Jeremy, so the view part of it, if I was to hit that, is that where we can respond to people on the internet?
What's that?
The view,
Oh,
your stream,
I don't even know.
well, I'd imagine it probably is. I'll get with TJ on that.
Yeah, the guy from the state told me that, and I looked up some of his, because their secretary sent us summary. It's like 50 pages. They vote for so many contractors, and he votes no. I don't know if it's real.
Oh, yeah.
All that money's right up anyway, because that was all other funds and stuff.
Yeah, it brings
So
you
they go
to,
for like hundreds of millions of dollars for that 20 inches.
brings us to this screen where you can respond.
And nobody's commented, but we got 5 viewers. I'm one, you're one, TJ's one.
So we have 2.
We have 2.
Oh, what?
A viewer.
Oh.
I was just looking at the part where you can view.
Rob's on. His kid watching videos on the LED.
Yeah, sometimes we don't get a lot of viewers. Other people like to watch it afterwards. Oh, we get a 5.
We don't have anything juicy on the agenda.
Let's see. So we can start talking about B, the procedure. We're gonna have, I think that's what Dick's talking about. We're gonna have him work on something.
I think that's going to be beneficial, first of all, having the procedures, because when I first got on the board, basically every building permit that came through was just getting approved. Nobody was really checking setbacks, nobody was checking if it needed variance or if it needed site plan or anything. It was just, yeah, here you go, we're just getting signed. So I think to help out future boards, that piece of paper is not good. So,
Yeah, I think it helps that
if
out.
you're doing this, this is what you need to do. Back and forth. It makes sense.
It does, and you know, getting something drawn up on it, and get it running correctly will be excellent.
I notice it's kind of delayed.
Yeah, there's a bit of a delay on the
Yeah.
counts. It could be anywhere between 7 seconds to 30 seconds.
You see Dick walking in still.
So, as we're speaking of building permits, there was a request from the library trustees and the librarian to have Mike do a walk and say what needs to be fixed and repaired or otherwise following code. As you know, public buildings, they have it on set, but they were asked if they would mind if Mike would take a walk through.
They have in their budget to pay for it, or? Not really.
Probably not.
Well, I can probably find the money, it's not that big.
Yeah, it's either they find it or we find it, a system of it, but they've requested that he takes a walk because there are some things that need to probably be fixed and addressed.
Like,
That
Insist on literally anything
you just got to let it run. It disconnects sometimes.
Is it does it freeze up too sometimes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Basically, and it
Okay.
shows-
here. It has to do with the, what this is called, what kind of a cage? Faraday cage. Because of the metal and the lead in the building.
I see.
The building's,
Okay.
which really
So
doesn't-
as long as it says live, we're live, that's
Yeah.
one thing.
There'll be a delay in it,
Yeah.
and the folks will catch on
Yeah.
or catch up.
we're used to it.
And we've got the libraries.
They have been forewarned that they need to post their times and stuff and meetings. 2 of them were emergency, which still,
Yeah.
they can still post the day of or 5 minutes before and say it's emergency, but they did not, so they now understand that they have to post them, even if it's emergency, they have to post.
Not to pick on them, because I'm sure there's other examples we could think of. Not a
There's
lot.
the one that's right here right now, because I know that, so a blanket posting is no longer legal. And I know there's several boards that have a blanket posting on that board. It's no longer legal, you actually have to post each day. Specifically, yes, because blanket postings, a lot of towns are just doing that, and they wouldn't have it, people like, where's the meeting?
And they have a meeting on an off day, and nobody goes to it.
Exactly, so there are a couple of other boards that we could reach out to and say, hey, no more blanket posting, the state law says you need to post each and every meeting.
Are we supposed to do this appointment now?
Which one? No, it's already taken care of.
Oh, all right.
We agreed to that, I just.
Yeah, I thought we had already done that.
I signed it, but then realized it was,
Okay.
there was some incorrect information in there. And we just fixed it and she's all done, signed up now. Correct. So we'll go ahead and move on forward. Our next, we already discussed the building permit procedure and planning board stuff. Dick's gonna work on that one.
Yeah.
Just gonna put your name next to it, Dick Carter. All right, so we'll just go ahead and jump into the building permits.
I move that we approve the building permit from Brandon Stoddard. He's paid his fee, and everything appears to be in compliance.
I'll second it.
All right, just so there's further discussion, there are more detailed plans than what's on the back of this.
Yeah.
I saw them, I hope all you guys saw them.
In the email.
Yeah, you know, there's more showing the setbacks and then
Yeah.
all that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next is another large, very large one.
Looks like it wasn't the first one we
This is a lot of, now I know this is what our building inspector would love to see on every single one,
built. Yeah.
which we know we can't get on every single one.
Wow, not necessarily relevant, but in this case, it certainly is. So I move that we approve the building permit request for Katola Contracting, map 27, lot 16.
I'll second it.
All right, any further discussion?
I'm just gonna make sure, he's aware, for us, the inspections going
Right.
moving forward,
Right.
so.
Yep, so, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So Jeremy, with the ones we're approving, can you get them over to Mike as soon as possible? These ones, the ones we're approving?
Yep.
Yeah, over to Mike as soon as possible. A little background on this next one. You'll need the permit for the Eversource.
Yes.
Beyond that, it's a no fee.
Yeah.
So,
So I move that we approve the permit 20, don't give us the lot. Map 18 lot 258.
I'll second.
all right. Any further discussion on this one? All those in favor? Aye.
Yeah, I think that's the old schoolhouse, the one that upgraded to solid, right?
I'm not sure. Do you know if it's the old schoolhouse? Do you know if it's the old schoolhouse?
I do not.
So it doesn't matter.
All right. So we've got some drafts of policies next. First one is town travel.
So, I don't agree with carpooling together.
No, I don't either.
Just because, even in the military, we don't carpool unless the two people agree
Want
with
to.
it. Yeah, and they want to, and at that point, obviously, they're carpooling, the mileage will only go to one person driving. But that leaves a town employee without a vehicle if one decides they want to go out for Chinese, but the other one's allergic to Chinese and they have to go someplace else. Or emergency.
So what you're saying is strike out the last sentence.
Correct.
Yeah.
And everything else you're agreeing on.
You want to say encourage it or just?
No, I just think you strike it. If they want to, they will. If they don't want to,
Yeah.
I agree with the reimbursed traveler for paid parking and tolls and the overnight travel.
We don't cover tickets. I had to put that out there.
Why did that happen or something?
No,
What is-
my
what
company,
is the-
someone asked that.
the per diem bonus rate in effect with the U.S. government. What is the?
Flip it over.
So it's on the chart.
It's on the back. So right now, the U.S. government pays $59 total.
Yep.
13 for breakfast, 15 for lunch, 26 for dinner, and $5 for any.
You got my toothpaste or whatever, sure.
Yeah.
And then the first and last day, it's a little bit lower rate.
So the government actually does that as well. It's the first and last day, they give a percentage of it because we expect to get home.
Where you're gonna eat breakfast at home and eat dinner.
They don't need that, exactly. And when I travel a lot for the military. I follow the same rules, just the carpooling, and even the hotels. It's usually like a set rate for the area, and then you have a good government rate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the hotel.
it's up to the individual to make sure that they meet the government rate. Anything else beyond that is, but they're responsible.
Their responsibility, yeah.
Which I'm not.
I don't think we can really set a policy rate for us because depending on where the travel is, depending on.
Right, it could be North Conway, it could be national.
And then on top of that, depending on the training that any of these people do, they may have you're gonna stay in our hotel,
Right.
it's part of your.
Yeah.
Sometimes it really is, so trust me, I travel a lot for business too.
Yeah.
We don't do the first and last day of travel, because most of the time I'm in traveling already at 4 a.m. and I don't get home until after 8.
And the part about their included meals, like we're not going to check every single.
No, that's just a,
Well, that's just what you get. So if you eat nothing but cheese and crackers, you win.
honestly, most people make out on these, because like I said, for my work, we stay in hotels that give us a free breakfast.
Right.
Right.
Same with the military, when government civilians,
And that's my breakfast is always
this is
so.
basically their same policy. It's just we put it into a system called ETS, Expense Travel System.
Yeah.
And it has to get approved through it. And then you get so much money for per diem each day. If you go above and beyond that, you pay for it yourself out of pocket. If you stay below it, you make a little bit of money. Traveling, you get the percentage, whatever the rate is at the time. So the only thing I didn't agree with was
That one part.
required to have carpool.
So I move that we approve the revised policy 4D1 with the amendment of removing the last paragraph of the third sentence. Specifically, if multiple travelers are traveling to the same event on the same days, they are required to carpool. We're going to strike that.
So the last sentence of the third paragraph.
That's what I said.
Said that. You said the last paragraph of the third sentence.
Sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, my son says I'm senile.
I'll second it.
All right. Any further discussion on that one? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, this one
Treasurer fund.
yeah, so this is
Kind
when
of obscure,
the checks don't get cashed after a certain amount of time, correct?
Right.
Which we have a couple of offenders in this town.
Yeah, we do.
I didn't see anything wrong with this one.
No, I move that we adopt the revised policy 4D2 as submitted and proposed by the treasurer regarding snail checks.
I'll second it.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
The rest of the items are the auditors, the stuff in the auditor, we not voted.
With this one, the debit and credit card one, that one is also that the cards have to be locked up at all times unless being used, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I knew I saw that in there somewhere, but I was just making sure. Right. Like I said, there's a few that go and they stay up a little longer than 24 hours.
I think
Should
the
be-
auditors mentioned the record in the letter.
Yeah, rec, I mean, Bob goes on that.
That's a separate account.
Right, for the revolvers.
So,
Yeah. So I
Which you
move-
have
which
some
is-
of our
it's safe.
to follow.
sometimes every department has one, as long as it's being used properly.
But it's being safe.
The other departments draw on the general fund. The rec center draws on, you don't get their own account.
No, you have a revolving fund, the police have a revolving
Yeah, if you
fund,
have an operating budget.
ambulance.
The
You have both.
association has their own account.
You have both. You have the regular town budget too. Yeah, the only real reason that you have so many cards is it just makes it cleaner in terms of separating.
Yeah, you know
All
who's
right,
spent.
well, I move that we adopt policy 4D3 as recommended by the auditors and submitted with the meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Let's see what Mark wants.
Yeah, Mark, how can we help you today?
So with the new billing agency, we had to come up with the billing for the payments policy.
Yeah.
This is what we're running, this is what that's what Fritz Wayne approved last time.
Okay, so we need to approve this tonight.
So it's just a rate change.
That's pretty much what we were on.
Yeah. All right, so I move that we approve the same rate structure as approved by by Fitzwilliam last night, which is BLS emergency charges, $1,033.41, ALS emergency, $1,450.85, and ALS 2, $2,187.41, and $24 a mile.
I'll second.
All right. Shouldn't see it. All those in favor? Aye.
Can Jeremy have that so he can get the minutes right?
I would say, or you can make a copy of it.
Yeah, because Nancy gave that, because I ran in,
Yeah.
their selectmen's meeting, that asked about,
Yeah.
so the figures I have are different than what they have.
Yeah.
So when they call CAG,
Yeah.
in the printout sheet, it's not as much as what it shows that paper I have.
Yeah.
So Debbie's,
The work.
she's coinciding for what they actually received, or
Yeah.
what each call was.
Yeah.
We had no info from September to December or August. After August 13th, we didn't have
And
anything, but she's getting it, Nancy's working on it as well, so hopefully we'll get a check from January to August. We'll see.
that would be good.
So they approved the bottom?
You to adopt the bottom piece.
Yeah.
That.
And Deb said we didn't have any luck on the rate changes.
Huh.
Their board didn't make any.
That's it.
All right, from the salary.
Oh, the salary.
Oh, yeah. So that's gonna end up being a whole nother issue.
I asked for Ms. Ours.
Yeah, so
She didn't see
they don't
that.
want to
Yeah.
support it, but it's gonna create major issues.
Oh, we'll deal with that when we have to deal with it.
Another one's gonna go to Northfield.
She's,
Sure.
We're gonna create an
A higher
apartment.
bonus as well as a higher rate,
Yeah, they're high.
but some of them have bonuses, signing bonus.
They're $6 an hour more than we have.
You've lost one since then, or?
We've lost one, I know for sure. Well, two actually. one does a shift here and there, but one of them hasn't done a shift, he's staying on the roster and not doing any shifts. And then I got a call the other day, a third one was gonna do probably a dispatching job. I got a call from them as a reference.
He didn't ask you?
What's that?
He didn't ask you?
She didn't tell me that. It's a state police.
Usually you should get permission to use somebody.
Oh crap, what did I do this? It's like, what did I do?
Yeah. That's all I got.
Alright.
Alright, well, we got
Thanks,
that
Mark.
taken.
Okay, I appreciate it, thank you.
Alright. So next one is the capital assets.
Alright, so I move that we approve the, policy 4D4 on capital assets and depreciation as recommended by the auditors.
I'll second it.
Alright. So the CIP is working on some of this stuff, so this will actually be helpful for them. We might want to adjust a couple of different, like, police cruisers, things like that. 3 to 5 years we're going on with that. So we're keeping them maintaining ours on the road as long as most places are.
Well, I think that one's an accounting mission and the other is a CIP thing.
Yeah.
So I think for purposes of this, we should adopt what the auditors recommend.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Okay, correct cash receipts for policy. Again, this is another recommendation from our auditors.
Yeah, mostly it's the transfer station at this point, which our long-term vision is to offer electronic payments at some point. Help with that a little bit.
Well, also anything, it also kind of helps out that department because they take a lot of cash as well.
Yeah.
But I met with Justin over there and told him that we need to do a better job getting the cash reported and sent over on a consistent basis, like every week, no excuse. At some point, it's gonna pile up. That's not gonna do
All right, I move that we adopt policy 4D5 as recommended by auditors regarding cash receipts within the town of Troy.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Move we approve the Historical Society's check request. They had $86 for an ad in the Nadnock Shopper.
One second. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
It was also recommended by the treasurer that we figure out if they set up their checking account using the town tax ID, or if they use their own.
They used, I can tell you, they set it up using the town's ID.
Okay, so under all normal policies, when that happens.
They don't have,
501c3.
right.
Should we send them a letter asking them to?
Yeah, we'll send him a letter basically because he should be reconciling their account as well. Our treasurer, and he's not.
I don't think they are.
Exactly, and.
Janet used to. So the statements, the
Something happens
question,
there, right?
the question is where are the statements?
That's the other thing.
The
So,
statements should be coming
Yeah.
in this office.
Then we don't have to do this.
No, you still do. They can't spend any money. Listen, you don't want to go there. Just take this as the word of God, okay? They need to do check requests, and whoever is getting the statements, we need to find what statements we have here. And I know Janet kept them in the office.
where is the question?
Yeah, but I mean, like, if we were to switch it all over, they can't come in and approve it.
There's nothing, no, there's,
Department?
no, no. They can't sign checks.
They're not a department, that rotates, so they're not a hired staff, they're not anything like that.
Right.
So
They're not the treasurer. The treasurer or the PJ has to sign the check.
Yeah, but I mean, for them, in terms of authorizing,
We have to authorize everything they spend.
That's what I was.
Just like we would have to, if the road department came in and wanted to buy a new bulldozer, we would have to sign the same
Yeah.
process.
could it be like included in the manifest rather than this?
No, because they're presumably, if the road department wanted to buy tires for a truck,
Right, you have to just wait.
there would have been an invoice that John would have signed off on and Sarah would have paid. In this case, they want us to produce a check to pay for something in advance, so that's why they do a check request. Because if we don't approve it, they don't do it. So, did we vote to approve this? We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, if Adam doesn't have their bank statements, we should find out where they are and make sure that they're here or coming here and that he gets it.
Because it also plays on the fact that if that account goes negative or the check bounces, the town has to pay for it. And we don't know how much is in there. That's what
Well,
Adam brought
they
for.
generally, they're very careful about that, but it's just, that's how it works. It's an account we manage for them.
I'm assuming there's probably some history behind how it got.
Yeah, don't go there.
There's
It is map 27, lot 8, lot 16.
One second.
I have a question. What is the intent of cutting?
If you,
Timber.
yeah, you're gonna, yeah, not mowing your lawn.
So if you're taking out more than like one tree, two trees, or
They
a
take it
lot of
out, we
trees,
pay the tax and make some money.
Yeah, we have a neighbor that doesn't cut their
Like for
lawn
12.
once a year.
Right.
So all those in favor?
Aye.
Save the town up their money, right?
Yeah.
We've seen him come in a couple of times and he was a little feisty.
All right, I move that we approve the event permit for the Cheshire Railroad on October 5th. Rail trail run like last year. We're gonna run from Fitzwilliam Depot to Troy Depot.
Literally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people actually go up there and run,
If
bike.
you do it, Jeremy, start with Fitzwilliam, because Fitzwilliam's 15 feet higher than Troy. It's a high point in the
I
line.
don't think I'd be in for cheap.
Well, that's right, Medic's midway down to,
Maybe 10, 12 years ago.
Take a bike.
Walk in. I suppose you can walk too, right?
you could, you still want to start at Fitzwilliam, it's still downhill coming to Troy.
You got from 9 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
to 2 p.m.
I'll join them after.
I walked that trail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
second.
steep.
Alright.
You get steep in spots.
Just so you guys know, this is the same event that's gonna be happening on the Common as well, at the train station.
Right.
Build the scarecrows on the Common, and
Yeah,
the
I
rec
hate
is
that.
involved, they help assist us. There's
Right.
vendors on the Common,
Well,
so
it-
that's this,
But that's a separate permit for the common.
yeah, which I don't,
I think it's on Facebook, there's two separate events at
Okay.
the same time. There's Depot Days, which Fitzwilliam and Troy Depot do together, and that's this, and then there's the other one, which is
so have we got the permit for the other one yet?
Fall Fest, no.
Yeah.
Who would be that, right?
Well, no, it'd be I was assuming it was a historical society, that's
I
why.
think it's the rec committee, I would think
Because,
What do they call the other? No?
Fall Fest.
Fall Fest.
Troy Fall Fest, yeah.
then we'll just get hold of Bob, make sure you
Yeah.
forget. Or Tim Chase, we find out who's supposed to be putting that in.
Yep.
All those in favor?
You have that one cheap.
He took that one.
Yeah, he's got it.
I'll text me.
Yeah.
Correct.
As far as records at some point.
All right. Now, 4H. All right, so is this, we need to sign this?
Yeah, this is annual DRA form, basically just telling them how much all their property accounts were.
Okay.
That our assessor did and would normally fill out for us, and then the board assessor sign it. I take it, I scan it, upload it to DRA, they're happy with us. And we just sign it.
And then you screw it up and we have to do a second time meeting.
It's possible. Not for
This
this
one we
one.
don't have to go to town meeting for.
Okay.
Not
I
unless
move
you-
that we sign the 2024 MS1, which actually I think it's not due till September 15th, so we're ahead of the curve, right?
Well, it makes up for some other ones.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But we can upload stuff there and they don't even approve it for the months at a time, so.
Yeah, but you've done your part, you've uploaded. So,
I will.
I move that we approve the form as submitted.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. That one. So,
Quitclaim deeds.
This is for 2 of the 2023 deed properties. Once I asked for an update, I immediately got them, so I was like, all right.
should be tweaking with the non-public?
Now what? No, not
This is feeding them back to fix our errors.
Oh, this is the correct, these are corrected deeds? All right, I move that we approve the 2 corrected deeds. Map 12, lot 15, sublot C, and map 18, lot 179, no sublot. And maybe the third one?
I'll second. All right, any further discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
And I can notarize those later.
Okay. You're a notary?
Yeah, so I saw my belt. I did it a few times, but okay. The whole middle initial thing is really,
Did they give you the
That one,
secret
yeah.
handshake?
well, you probably don't want to know.
Well, if you don't know the secret handshake, we'll find it.
I don't have an issue, so like I said, I don't have to worry.
I wish I didn't include it. I probably had to.
What?
It's whatever's on your license, that's just supposed to.
The normal people do their middle initial and then
Yes,
stuff
yes,
all the time?
all the time.
Guess I'm not.
I don't have,
I
I
never
only
do.
have
I
two
never
names.
use my middle initial. I
Yeah,
use
but if you're signing legal documents,
That's
that's,
not my fault, I'm not used to it.
it's true. Let me try a different question. Can anyone actually read your signature, like as individualized letters?
No,
So,
not mine.
Maybe when I first tried it in person.
my, when Richard's
It's more
mom-
legible than TJ.
Well,
I can go back to the way I used to sign, which is,
yeah, Richard's mother is more of a mark, you know, A,
long tails.
Not into a certain way of doing it, it's hard, man.
yeah.
SW, that's what I want. SW.
All right, so on to old business, town hall window replacement quotes. Any
So,
updates?
yes, I do have updates. I'm waiting for a final revised bid from Goulet, but they actually are, turns out, their bid is, when you go apples to apples, they're lower bid and they've got a better quality window, and they're actually including one more window. So I think they come in at 13.3 or 13.2, I forget exactly what it is. So we should have a bid to approve at the next meeting. I have it verbally from them, but we can't approve a verbal bid.
Well, I mean, it's New Hampshire handshake agreements.
That's true, but
Apparently it doesn't work in the state house now. That blew my mind, I wonder, I want to know the history of that kind of thing. What do you think? Wheels of room?
oh, yeah. Oh, that was better. That wasn't a handshake agreement, that was a written agreement.
Was it wasn't that a contract and everything?
That was a law. That was,
Yeah.
they just said,
Right, yeah. I'm wondering what the backstory is.
backstory is the state wanted the money. Plain and simple.
So next one is the record retention. My update is, I have identified a couple of potential people who would be on board. One of them being from the police department. It was highly recommended that we look at not so much chief, but one of the other officers who helped set up teams.
Oh, okay.
So, I will approach both chief and the other officer and discuss it with them. And then we would have myself, the town clerk, tax collector, then one of the police department people, and then as advisors, we would ask Amanda to be the advisor.
I don't know how many dredge and fill permits we will ever issue in Troy, but it's nice to know that we'll have a rule to deal with.
Exactly.
For what?
Dredge and fill. But we
Wait.
gotta build a canal or something.
Well, we've done dredging at the community center before, where they dredged
Yeah.
But then there's also dredging going on at the water and sewer plant too, as well.
Is that happening?
No, it's going to be. They just awarded the contract by what I just read in an email.
Yeah, I didn't put that on Facebook?
But no, that was the other. That was the other thing. They just sent an email out.
Was it
5 o'clock.
Summer's almost over, right?
Yeah.
And they haven't got to that yet?
And that's a whole other story that I'm not going to fight with anymore.
Are they having a meeting tonight?
No, their meeting was last Thursday, and it was a kind of a surprise one.
Surprise meeting, who knew?
And I was like, I was in this over meeting with us, and what are we doing? Oh,
$13, and that includes the quarterly payroll to the various stipended positions like selectmen and library trustee. And what?
clerks,
Yeah, all of the
all those big names.
I move that we approve payroll checks dated 9/9, amount of $18,472.97. We have accounts payable on 8/19 of $200, 8/21 of $3,967.86, 8/26 $28,853.17, which there were some corrective entries made for NHRS and Nextivia ACH payments for June and July. On the August 29th, $212,842.15, which includes transfers into the capital reserves and the of $140,000 and the expendable trust fund in the amount of $44,000. Thank you to Treasurer Hopkins for doing that. The Monadnock School District got in a lot of trouble for not making those transfers. And let me tell you, that's a real bad thing.
Just didn't do it at all.
They just didn't do it at all. Look better than
Much money lapsed.
Well, then you had to raise and appropriate the money a second time. It cost the tax rates to go about 10% a year. Just for that.
Wow.
Oops. Yep, oops is right.
Wow.
500, on the 29th, an additional $536, on the 30th, $200, and on today, 9/5, $13,613.53.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Real quick, Jeremy.
Yep.
That Nextiva, is that the phone bill from them? Do me a favor, start looking out for other companies, because there's been some complaints about phone systems. And
In here?
yes,
Not cheap either.
and yeah, that's the other thing, is they're very expensive.
Well, is that the hardware or the access?
That's the hardware. People were paying to rent their phones, and
Yeah.
people complain about the phones, they're hard to get a hold of when they need stuff done.
I don't even know what they look like, but why would we do that?
It's a voice over IP phone, but
Yeah.
there's other companies that could probably do it cheaper.
Now, with this system, can I pick up an extension in Jeremy's office and dial the town garage and the police department? Or I have to go outside the system to dial something?
No, there should be. I know internally, this building, there is a,
Well, that's my question,
No,
because
I think you actually have to call them.
yeah. I mean, I always call out, so
so if you have to call out, So he's right, probably.
Well, that's that, and a couple of times, his office staff has tried to reach out to them because there was an issue with the line, and
Yeah, not our problem.
they basically were non-responsive,
It's
so
on my job now.
that's not something I want to keep paying for, as a taxpayer or as a select.
Yeah, right, or as a user.
That too.
Yeah. Let's see when the contract expires.
Yeah, that also helps.
I know Mary signed that contract, so it's probably coming up. I move that we approve the August 15th public minutes of the Selectmen's meeting as submitted.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move that we approve the non-public meeting minutes of August 15th as submitted.
I'll second.
All right. Any further discussion on those ones? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We seal these ones or
If we wanted to seal them, we would have sealed them that night. I don't think anybody would worry about this one.
I move that we approve the public meeting minutes of August 28th as submitted.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
I move that we approve the non-public minutes as on August, as submitted for August 28th.
I'll second.
All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. On to the board correspondence. Would you like to talk about this? All right, so I got a public hearing notice as well as Jeremy for the rate setting for the plan year starting in 2025 and determination of return of surplus for the health trust.
Yeah.
I recommended that Jeremy go to this. I asked him to come together, pick a time, either 10 a.m. or 3 p.m. That's on the 26th of September. I would go, but I'm not part of the health trust, so I don't want to vote on something I'm not even part of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think they're actually voting, they're just taking it.
Well, no, you actually get to vote. So when you go there, you actually get a vote. So if you're mailing things, then they just take you as a, maybe we'll take it, but if two of us win, we only get one vote.
I assume we're getting a rate pretty soon, we're getting close.
Well, they're gonna tell you about it when you get there on the 26th.
Yeah, so that's the whole point of
They
this.
go for a
So how
certain
much money we're getting back to?
Right. So do we need a motion to send Jeremy, or you're sending it?
I would entertain a motion for that.
I move that we send Jeremy to the New Hampshire Health Trust public hearing on 9/26, and we reimburse him for mileage.
I'll second.
Jeremy, please pick a time, let us know.
10 a.m.?
What? Okay, 10 a.m. All right, perfect, so we will 10 a.m. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, I know Mary did a folder, I think last budget season, looked at other options.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot of health insurance options.
Not.
I'm gonna pull out, I'm assuming he wasn't good enough to pursue.
Blow the dust.
Yeah, you're gonna-
It was, I think, only like when she looked, she discussed it with us, it's only like a 1%, but everything had changed and then everyone was being very upset, so.
Bridge is in the same, well, it sounds like Bridge got an offer that's, looks nice on paper, but they're worried about.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's like, it's not many options, it's not that much better.
Yeah. I think it's great.
All right, we're on to the administrative reports, financial audit update, website
Right, I
upgrade.
probably have more guys than this now, so. So obviously 2021's done. Our consultant, Greg Colby, the CPA, has helped us do the middleman, is coming in next week. Look at 2022.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we might squeeze 22 in this year.
That'd be good.
So then we have to do 23, 24 next year.
That would work.
I don't know if that's definitely gonna happen, but my idea was to, we budgeted 50 grand this year for the audits. I think we should do what we did similar to last year, where we encumber it, pay for both, and then next year's budget, we only have to ask for 20 or 25,000 for. Okay.
Not a bad idea.
Confirm those numbers work with that.
Yeah. last year, we prepaid for
Yeah.
2021, so. I was gonna ask Greg to kind of help me figure out the numbers. I wanna try to get as accurate as possible estimate of our unassigned fund balance,
Yeah.
which is obviously still a lot of
Well, you don't know, because you've got checks coming in from the state.
Well, it really depends on how much money we find at the end of the audit.
Yeah.
I wanted
Well, you've got the number.
to have a number that we're pretty confident in terms of if we wanna use it towards.
Well, we have the 21, we're good, we know what money we have from the end of 21. So we can make our decision based on that.
But I'm thinking like CIP, like that might be an opportunity to do some of that.
Well,
Depending on what we come up with, but there might be some sticker shock there depending on.
we're not gonna,
Right.
they don't have a CIP yet. And the idea behind the CIP is that
Be a big recommendation.
it's a sinking fund. So it's like a Christmas fund. You know that Christmas is coming, and so you put $2 a week every week for 50 weeks, and then you have $100 for your Christmas fund. That's what a CIP is.
I'm just worried that we make a recommendation that scares people with the number ones. We want adequate.
Well, we need to, we're gonna need to,
It'll be baby steps.
well, to a certain extent, part of the problem we have is we kind of do like a CIP, because if you look at Dave's budget or the fire department's budget or the road budget, every year, as long as I've been here, they have a number in their budget that they set aside for a new cruiser or a new truck or whatever. So that's what a CIP does. But then there's other aspects of the town where we don't really do that. Like, how do you account for these desks? Well, these desks are 200 years old. 15 from 24, 209 years old, so.
Pretty good for their.
They do. So, but the question is, how do you need to put money in the budget to replace these desks? Probably not. So 15 years from now, we can say, okay, it's already here, it's time to paint the pier.
Good news is we're getting more life out of some items than other times probably.
We do. There's probably some table in a museum someplace, but, try. 209-year-old table works fine for us. We're not buying a new one. I only know the age because it's a black one.
We obviously do.
This fall.
No, I wasn't here.
Where'd this come from?
This is quarter sawn oak that they made here in Troy.
Oh. I thought you had.
No.
I didn't mean it that way.
No, they came with the town hall.
I didn't mean it that way.
I don't get your jokes. I don't have a great sense of humor, but
It's usually dry.
mine too. Apparently yours is way drier than mine.
Oh, man.
The next item I have is, so I had a short call with the website company to kind of outline the process, so.
Who is our website company?
Catalyst is the name.
Okay.
That's the company we've had, we're not pretty, but the process of a new website takes way longer than it should, but planning and, so I was curious if there's anything that.
Have you sent this out to bid? How did we find
We were
this?
gonna contract.
Oh, we already
But
got-
I did get quotes from everybody else, and everybody else is way more money.
Oh,
Yeah, he
So
went
we-
up to bid.
So we extended the contract,
existing bid.
and it went up, of course, because we're gonna modernize. it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it looked like it had been redesigned the last time I logged in. It slightly changed.
Yeah.
Owner investment.
I'm just,
But I didn't know if there's anything that like sticks out in your mind that you definitely want to make sure that our new website.
A calendar that works.
Yes, that's definitely on the
there's
website.
that one.
Yeah, that needs to be updated out there also, like, that's a.
I think they were doing that today.
Were they? Okay, no. I didn't see.
No, the regular one's still the same. So we started the conversation, the process in terms of what it's gonna look like, but we want to make sure we have, what people would normally want. We obviously don't need all the bells and whistles like Manchester.
No.
But a nice calendar. Probably gonna be a way where we can like upload the Selectmen packets there.
That would be probably good.
login information where like certain information can be behind a wall.
I would like a less grainy picture of town hall.
I'll pull out my high-res camera.
We did ask for photos, I'm sorry.
I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say it's pixelated, but
It's grainy. It's a scan of a scan.
yeah, that's what it is,
I'll
yeah.
pull out, like I said, I'll pull out my high-res camera.
Make sure
I'll snap
for the
it.
water and
The,
sewer commission, that those names and I don't know,
so,
in the personnel changes, that that's updated.
I wanted to congratulate whoever was involved in finally getting Troy on the New Hampshire tax kiosk. I think it's Chrissy's office that was able to do that.
Yep. That's right, that was, she forgot to mention that.
I have been cranking on this thing for 6 years, 6+ years. But I wonder, so our property, normally you can see, in addition to seeing tax bills, you can see water bills. And I was curious if that had made that.
No, they're not gonna get on it yet.
These
And
online payments?
I understand we've already received our first online tax bill payment.
Are you talking water and sewer online?
I'm just generally saying, on the New Hampshire tax kiosk, you can see property cards, you can see assessments, you can see tax bills, you can pay tax bills, you can pay water bills. And since I know we already received our first person paid their tax bill or registered their car online, it worked. My question is the water and sewer bills on there as well?
They have to approve that so far.
They have,
I
okay.
mean, I
As
think
far
we,
as I know.
as a town, I think we'd like to get there, but last I knew they weren't.
They weren't, okay,
They
that
weren't
was my
I don't
question.
know how long ago it was.
But they also still have to switch. I think they still have to switch taxes as well.
Yeah, okay.
Did you already remove the one that needs to be modified for the?
Yeah, I would say one, right, Jack?
You know, or?
No, travel policy. 'Cause I didn't see that one.
Oh, I might not even prepare one.
Because I also didn't see, I don't think I saw the stale checks.
Yeah, I probably spaced on it. But an idea that came to mind while we were at the meeting earlier, but, the first town I worked in, the selectmen had their own office, which I'm not proposing here, but they had a desk and we used to leave documents to like be signed. So
Yeah.
one, maybe we can give the selectmen a mailbox so like we can pop in and like,
You know what?
It's easier to talk about.
We haven't fully recovered from when we did that before. Let's just keep doing what we're doing.
We have a desk, kids.
Yes.
Everybody's got their own drawer, right?
But I thought like a mailbox where you drop it in, you can sign it if and when you're ever in.
All right, so our next meeting is September 19th at 5 p.m. here at Town Hall.
Voting on Tuesday.
Yes, voting is this coming up Tuesday.
Yeah.
So come say hi and
Vote early and vote often.
correct. It's, I think it's 10 to
What if you're dead? You still vote off?
If you're a Democrat, apparently that's one of their main things.
One other thing, so the NHMA conference is the end of October.
Yeah.
Sarah said that, I don't think Mary's going, Selectmen don't normally go, or?
I don't.
I thought it was free, but it's not, it's like $50.
Well, I'm
Yeah, that's really what I thought.
It's 2 days in Manchester.
what's second prize? One?
Huh? Yeah, you can
First
choose,
prize is 2 days
you
in
can choose to only
Manchester.
go to one, or you can choose just to vote, show up to vote and leave.
See,
It's
that
free.
was a joke. First prize is 2 days in, second prize is 2 days in Manchester, first prize is one.
We can come on live.
Yeah.
You can show up and vote for free.
Yeah.
But TJ, you don't plan to go to the NHMA conference, do you?
I don't know. So
Can I go?
Give us the information. And we'll bring
I don't
it
need
to
to
the
tell, I don't.
Bring it to the next
Generous
meeting.
day.
Voting is from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
Or sorry, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 p.m. people.
That's the time.
Why did I say that? Because that's why it's literally.
Moderator will kill you.
I'll kill myself. That's a long day.
Yeah, that's a long
I gotta
day.
count.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Hopefully you're up.
Is it 8 a.m.?
Yeah, it
Is it-
starts
was
at
it
8
normally
a.m.
10? 10?
8 a.m. till
7.
7.
Okay. Do you not remember it being 10 in the past?
So for
10
primaries,
a.m., yes. Town elections, it starts at 10. They have a
okay.
whole schedule,
Yeah.
and then like federal elections, like in November,
Yeah,
it'll start at 7.
yeah, good, okay, I'll be there.
And you can start earlier, like you'll see over in Manchester, or Nashville, one of them starts at 6.
Wow. So do they set up like the night before?
Oh, yeah.
I would
Depends
think
on where it
so.
happens.
You volunteering? I'm just kidding.
Well, supposed to be
Say,
there.
hopefully you're up by 10.
Poll watcher.
Yeah.
all right. Yes, Al, whoever wants to make that motion.
Make a motion, we go under non-public, under 91A, row numeral 2L.
I'll second. All right, it's gonna be a roll call vote. Dick,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
TJ, yes. If you wanna go ahead and shut down, we'll take a quick break while it shuts down.
Curtis, you haven't signed it, right?
Yep.
There are a couple of, the whatchamacallit from there, but
What?
there are a couple of the, new rules missing from there.
Or?
Yeah. One which is good,
The policies?
yeah, one needs to be updated.
If you got a mailbox, I could dump it in there and sign it, whatever. you want.
I'll just come in on Monday like I always do. And sign anything else I do. Okay, Kurt, here you go.
Yeah, my first time you dump the manifest in the dust and then sign whatever you sign it.
So you gotta go back to the QuickTime app.
Okay, so I think I just paused it.
You pause the live stream of yourself, so
Right,
go back that,
okay.
click back in.